Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin. You know, the Democratic Party pushed to hold that Senate seat. Hold that Senate seat. Hold that Senate seat. We need to hold the Senate for Joe Manchin. Democratic Party barely put in any support for Stacey Abrams as election fraud was going on there, which I'm going to get to. And press the share button. Let's get this out to way more people. The views are suppressed because, unfortunately, nobody's getting notifications. So, Joe Manchin was reelected. The Democratic Party fought for his reelection. They put a lot of money into that race. And he's already doing the Republicans' bidding for them. Go figure. The Democratic Party fought like hell to reelect Claire McCaskill. She lost. Same thing with, the hell was his name in Indiana? Donnelly. He lost. Joe Manchin didn't win by a lot. I think he won by 4 points. So, Joe Manchin is on Fox News. And Joe Manchin, his plan for, I guess, health care is repair a care. Repair a care. So it's Obamacare, and Joe Manchin is going to repair a care. So let's take a look at his brilliance. Joe Manchin's brilliant idea.
Senator, you're right. You're right. The Republicans kept saying Obamacare, we're going to get rid of it and going to replace it, and they couldn't do it. So the House gave you a version, the Senate couldn't get it done. So Trump repair care, we'll see if he's open to that. Do you think Senator Schumer would be open to that? Have you bounced this off him?
I have. They know where I stand, and I'll be speaking loud and clear, Brian. There's no censor right now at all. I'm basically back with the mandate to get things done. The people in West Virginia want their health care. They want it fixed. They're not going to blame anybody. And the president, basically, they've tried. He did everything he could with Obamacare. That is not okay. It's gone. What we can do is fix what we have in front of us. We know what doesn't work. We know that the reinsurance plan in Alaska works well. Indiana had a good plan. There's some things that we have been able to do that would really work. Let's do it. He's the only one who can make it happen. He can only make that happen. He can fix the immigration problem. He can make that happen by looking at what we've already done in the Senate in 2013 and tweaking that some to where he would be happy with. But it's totally committed to border security. $42 billion, I think, or more. We voted, and nothing can happen until the border is totally secured.
Well, speaking of the border...
Ugh. This is what the Democratic Party fights for. So we can keep idiots and spineless schmucks like that in office. Wow, Polish Hammer, $100. $100 in the super chat. Polish Hammer. In your honor tonight, I'm taking a Polish... Well, what did the Polish do? I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Polish Hammer with $100 in the super chat. I went to Standing Rock thanks to Jordan's reporting. While there, I decided to whistleblow the fraud that the company I worked for was committing nationwide. They fired me. I sued. And now I'm using the awarded money so Jordan could expose more criminal, corrupt motherfuckers. Polish Hammer, don't make me cry don't make me cry on the internet. That's fantastic. That's just wonderful. There's a few things you said in there, and I'm going to get back to Joe Manchin, but this deserves my attention. When I tell people why I do this, when I tell people why I do this because when I was at Standing Rock, I had probably a couple dozen people come up to me. I was there 7 times and tell me, I saw your video, I saw your work, and I came. If you're lucky enough to have any impact in what you do for a living, if you're lucky enough to change people's minds, to activate people to do something, there's no better feeling than that for me. There's nothing there is nothing better than people taking action because you informed them of something or you activated them on something. That's, to me, better than a video that gets like 5 million views. You know, for example, the Donna Brazil video that I did that went viral and a lot of people liked. Obviously, that was great and I loved it. But messages like that are really why I do this. Same thing with Flint. You know, being there, and Jen could tell you this and Ty could tell you this because we've been there a few times together. Having people come to you and just, they depend on you because no one else is doing anything. No one else is drawing attention to it. So I appreciate that message. And I'm sorry you were fired for doing what was right. But, you know, I've learned in my career being a rabble rouser, not sticking with the status quo, starting a status coup, you'll be fine. I'd love to hear more from you, Polish Hammer, with your story. Email jordan@protonmail.com. I really, really appreciate that contribution, $100. And if you ever got a few other shekels, feel free to contribute to the GoFundMe. But thank you for the $100. We can't thank you enough. Cry, you might get more views. Tommy Tahifi with the $1.99. Polish Hammer, we love you, player. Hey, Tommy, don't be so cheap. I left $20 on your live stream. You live $1.99 on me? Psh! Get out of here. By the way, you guys got to tune in to Ty's live streams. Ty, what time are you going live on Friday? 10 a.m. Pacific? 1 o'clock Eastern? That man, he could talk. He could go on. You get him pissed off about something, you get him on something, 4 hours later. But let me tell you something. He was talking today about what black people deal with in this country, both socially, safety-wise, everything, and I learned something. There you go. Tommy Tahifi Bayless will be live Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So set it in. It is sad that there are so few real journalists these days like you. Hey, Broken King, what do you think we're doing here? I've said from the jump, status quo is not just going to be me. Our long-term goal, I'd like Ty to do more reporting. Jen's going to be doing reporting, and we'd like to bring more people on board. But we need money to do that, obviously. That's why we're doing this GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is really to get the seed money that we need to get in the field. Because we believe if we're in the field, the more we're in the field, the more people will be joining us as paid members. Jen is putting the finishing touches on that, so we could have a membership section on our website, statusquo.com. Go there to put in your email. So we're going to have paid membership. We're also trying to get sponsorship deals and a whole lot of good stuff in the background. And hopefully we could hire other reporters, because I have my eye on a few people that I really like and I think are trapped without opportunity right now. Tommy says, I've donated way more than you collectively, Jordan. Go fuck yourself, okay? I've donated plenty to your cause, pal. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that. So, back to Joe Manchin. Thank you again, Polish Hammer. By the way, I won't tell you the story, but I was nicknamed the Hebrew Hammer in college, in addition to Dr. Dreidel and Darth Dreidel. Anyway, so Joe Manchin, his plan for health care for the people of West Virginia. You paying attention if you're from West Virginia? I went down there during the primary night, Jen and I, where Paula Jean Swearingen had a really good performance against Joe Manchin. And bottom line, he is talking about repair-a-care. He's talking about, oh, Indiana has a good plan, and Alaska has a good plan, and I'm here for West Virginia to get them health care. Oh, yeah? Is that why you take hundreds of thousands of dollars from Mylan, the pharmaceutical company that your daughter runs, that hiked up the price of life-saving EpiPens, I think by 700%? Is that why you take money hand over fist from Big Pharma, which is causing the opioid crisis in West Virginia? Hey, Joe Manchin, there's already a plan that's wildly popular. Fox News might have never heard of it, but I'm sure you have. It's called Medicare for All. It's popular among 70% of the United States of America. It's popular among 52% of Republicans. It's cheaper long term because it gets rid of the bureaucratic and administrative costs. But Joe Manchin is, repair-a-care, Obamacare. What did he say? Obamacare is gone? And he was talking, if you watch that segment, like Trump is trying to do something. Trump tried to pass a health care plan that got rid of protections for pre-existing conditions. His health care plan was essentially give people, a mix of Paul Ryan's plan, which was private vouchers, and go back to the emergency room. That was his health care plan. Joe Manchin is not a Democrat. He's a Republican. And I personally wanted to see him lose in West Virginia, because in those instances, let's send a message to the Democratic Party. You keep giving us Republicans, you keep giving us Republican lights, we're going to vote him out of office. To hell with it. If you're going to give us a Republican light, elect a Republican. In some cases, I'm not for that. But in West Virginia, what's the difference? What is the difference? Polish Hammer. I like Daytona Beach. I went there 2 years ago. Congrats on that move. So, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is terrible. And honestly, Nancy, as I covered yesterday, like Nancy Pelosi's talking about creating or recreating the Select Committee on Climate Change. You know, that's nice, a committee, and I know a lot of laws come out of committee, but we don't need a committee to do research and bring in experts. We know how urgent things are because the experts have told us. What we need is the Democrats to be bold and say, you know what? We're going to go with small dollar donations. We're getting rid of the fracking. We're getting rid of the fracking and the fossil fuel donations, which the DNC did for approximately 5 minutes. Remember the DNC banned fossil fuel companies' donations for a month before they reversed course? It's ridiculous. And I'm a fan of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and I think she's being diplomatic as she walks in the building, and she doesn't want to just say, hey, that's what I think of you, Nancy. But really, a committee? And by the way, if you live in California, Nancy Pelosi behind the scenes was the reason that single payer got shot down in California. I believe it passed the Senate, and the House Speaker in California killed it.